I'm not who I used to be, and honestly, I'm not rushing who I'm becoming. This season of my life isn't about changing everything, it's literally about becoming more honest with myself. Hey, girl, hey, ready to be real? Welcome to Becoming Her Unfiltered, the place where pretending ends and becoming begins. No mask, no noise, no performance, just truth, grace, and growth. You're safe. Come closer. Let's get into it. So, over the past few years, I've been sitting with the whole becoming her, and especially like with this conversation of becoming. I feel like I've been on this journey for probably a good 5 years now. And 5 years ago, me is not the same me that I am right now. And I'm so grateful for that because 5 years ago, me was extremely broken and in a way that it's not as to the space that I am right now, right? Because I know that that is when I started going to therapy and I started to start my journey on healing as well as getting to know who I am and understanding who I am, how I am, what triggers me, what get on my last nerves, what makes me happy, what keeps me going, right? And I remember sitting there and my therapist was literally asking me, what makes you happy? And for a long time, like, I did not know what makes me happy. Like, I was married, I had my kids, I had all of these things, right? And I was sitting here like, what is happiness? I don't know what that is. And I remember she had gave me a homework assignment to literally sit back and think about things that fuel me and things that keeps me going and things that makes me excited and things that really make me happy. And as I was sitting down, and now I'm sitting down and continuing talking about this becoming her journey and how far I've come and how far I am, although I am content with where I am right now, that emotions that come with it is excitement, it's curiosity, it's resistance, it's peace. Okay, I am completely at peace. And I'm always curious about the next version of myself and how I am evolving. Like, I take time to enjoy the present, but also like, what is next for Jody and how can I evolve for the better in a sense of like emotional, spiritual, and mental, And how can I be a better mom? And I think I've been going through life with more intentionality than anything. And, change is good. Every few years, I feel like we've evolved. Like I said, 5 years ago, me is totally different from who I am right now. And I know, like, within this past 5 years, I've dealt with so many changes. And although change is hard and change is scary, but change is so good. Because if you're not changing, you don't even know you're not going to evolve. You're just going to continue to sit there and accept your reality. And in order for you to evolve, you have to get uncomfortable and you have to move and do something different than what you're already doing. You get what I mean? So for me, I just feel like becoming her, what it means to me is not necessarily, about the research. Because you could do the research, you could watch all the videos on social media, save all the videos, and listen to all the things. But if you're not literally sitting down to see what that means for you, because what it means for me is literally consistently choosing you over and over again so that you can become a little bit better about yourself. And you have to just continue to stay in a mindset of shifting and being around the right people, right? And because in order for you to get there, you have to really be around that. And I had to sit there and define what that looks like for me, because your entourage, the people that you have around you, play a pivotal role in your life. And if you're not consistently looking at that to divulge that, or to dismantle that, or see the, are these people serving you or they're not serving you in a good way, and to move around and find a different way. And you know, you have to consistently listen to people, but also take what resonates, and not only take what resonates with you, but also apply. Because a lot of time we consume so many things, right? We consume so much content, we consume so much from so many different people, that as soon it goes in one ear and out the other. But you have to let it resonate, and also to apply it to your life and take action. Because if you don't take action, then you're not going anywhere. So basically, if you're in this season of your life, and where you're in a season of becoming, and you are looking for that change, go ahead and tap like on this video. And for me, becoming her is not about the aesthetics. It's not about looking a certain way. It's not about having everything figured out. It's literally about choosing yourself over and over again. Even when you fall off, even when you mess up, you have to just don't stay there. Get back up and continue. Because when you stay there, you're just sitting there wallowing in what was. And a lot of times, I don't know about you, but a lot of times I do that a lot. Like, I could be really consistent for a while, and then I mess up, and then it's just hard to get back on the wagon again. And you just have to keep going, because it's not about perfection. It's about striving and doing it even when it doesn't look good, even when it looks a hot mess. And one thing that I don't relate to when it comes to becoming her, like becoming to you, being on your becoming her journey, is the idea that choosing yourself is being selfish. Like, that makes you selfish. Like, I don't know if you get what I mean. I can still choose myself and still be caring and still have grace and still have empathy and do all these things. It's just the fact that, as somebody that spent majority of her life just giving to people and carrying so much, right? So much of other people's situation. Like, when I start to choose myself, a bit of that kind of made me feel uncomfortable, because I'm saying no to people. But the people also felt like, you said no, why? Like, and trying to make you feel guilty about it. And to the point where it's just like, oh, you're being selfish. It's not about that. And it's just like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm not being selfish. I'm just choosing not to have to do this. It doesn't make me less of a person. It doesn't make me less caring. It's just that, as for me right now in this season, I'm not doing that. And it just means that I'm changing, and I'm putting some sort of a boundary. And the thing is, just like, also too, is like, I'm dismantling so many things. And I'm also, unlearning a lot of things. Like I said in a previous video, I'm unlearning a lot. And I'm unlearning ways, and I'm letting go of those ways as well, to not be overgiving and overworking and overextending myself for people that don't deserve it. And also, not even just people that don't deserve it, because I will always do something. If it's in my heart and I feel a tug to do it, I will do it. However, it's about reciprocation as well. And I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. So if I say no to something, respectively, it's no. And I just want to stop overdoing my part, because I feel like I've been overdoing my part for so long that at this point it became a personality trait. And a lot of that came from survival and from being the responsible one and always having that pressure of this is what you need to do as an older sibling. I will continue to go back on that because I just feel like we as older siblings there's so many things that you just carry. And even though a lot of people could relate to it because based on your personality type and who you are as a giver and somebody that's caring and like a caretaker type, you're used to that and you do it without a blink of an eye because it's like second nature to you. And just like, like I said, being the one that always show up, being the one that checks into people and always making sure that everybody's good. And to be honest, that version of me was so exhausted and still is exhausted because I'm still unlearning. I'm still learning to stop all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still learning that. And I think that's kind of like when I got to my breaking point is because, like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I am exhausted outside of, like, my immediate responsibility. And I should say my permanent responsibility because I have permanent responsibilities. I have 3 of them. They are my permanent responsibilities because they didn't ask to be here. I brought them into this world, and that's who deserve all of my time, attention, and everything. And even then, I still need to take some time for me. You know what I'm saying? So if any of this resonates with you, drop a comment. Let me know. Me too. I relate to this. So I don't know that I'm talking about myself. You get what I'm saying? And I am also letting go the pressures of being fully healed. Because that is a myth. Because I believe that, I believe it's a myth. I ain't gonna even say anything. I believe it's a myth because healing is not something that you just get to. I feel like you are consistently working on your healing journey because healing is not linear or linear. Is that the word? I don't know. But it's literally like it's an ongoing process. And as long as you are alive and breathing, you are continuously, actively working on that part. You can get to the point, but you still have to work on your triggers because those are the part that makes you feel a certain type of way. So, there's no checklist to this. There's no way to tell you like, oh yeah, you've made it. No, you're just continually, actively working on this on a day-to-day basis because healing is ongoing. And for me, becoming her on a day-to-day looks like therapy. Going to therapy. It looks like taking care of my body, both spiritually and physically. And it looks like emotional stability, emotional intelligence. It looks like being more spiritually grounded, and slowing down. And literally, like, I am in a space of my life where I literally am fantasizing and working on having slower mornings and not having to be rushed so much because I'm not gonna lie to you, the few mornings that I do have a slow start, I feel so much at peace. And honestly, my days are so much better. I don't know if you could relate, but this is the things I am working on. And it's just basically like, that is something that I desire to have on a daily basis, is to really have a slow start. And just a little rant or tangent is just like, I feel like in America, you're so taught to being on the go. Like, where are we running to? What are we trying to catch? Literally, we need to slow it down a bit and really enjoy the process of certain things and not having to just, oh my gosh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But this is the norm of what society has created, and I'm unlearning to, like, I don't have to be moving at the speed of light every single day. It's okay to just enjoy and be at peace. I don't have to be on go mode, because you know what go mode makes you feel? Exhausted. Yeah, I said it. It makes you feel exhausted because it's like you can't keep up with what's happening. So I just feel like because we live in a fast-paced society, we feel like we're behind on something, and I had to learn this. Like, it feels like you're behind, but in reality, you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. And as long as you're good for yourself, you're enough for yourself. Excuse me. Like, you're doing more than enough. More than enough. And it's just fine. And if you feel like you deserve more or you desire for more, it's okay. It doesn't need to happen in a rush process. Take your time with it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the present. Because I feel like a lot of times, I don't know about you, but I know for me, sometimes you miss enjoying the present because you're so focused on the next thing. Like, okay, because that's something that I really like. Side note, that's something that I really struggled with, was celebrating my wins and celebrating my progress and my successes, because it's like, okay, I did this, on to the next. I remember another sidebar. I remember that it took me, for me to get my college degree, right? It took me 10 years to get there. And I remember literally, like, on the day of my graduation, we were at the graduation dinner, and I remember my mom was like, what's next? Like, you going to go get your master's? And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. It took me 10 years to get here. Let me enjoy this. Let me enjoy this, because I haven't even thought about the next thing, to be honest, because my main thing was to accomplish this goal for myself. And I did that, and I'm going to enjoy the moment. At least let me enjoy today. We could talk about that tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like we're just so used to just like, what's next, what's next, what's next. And I just want to enjoy. I want to enjoy my kids. I want to enjoy all of these things that I have worked on. You get what I mean? So, becoming her is just like, this is really like the meat of it all, is shows becoming her. Becoming her shows up in my boundaries. It shows up in my boundaries, because, and those boundaries are in motherhood, as being a daughter, as being a friend, being all of those things. You know what I'm saying? It's like at work and in my personal life, like boundaries. I'm gonna say it again, boundaries, because that is something that I'm actively working on in my becoming her journey, setting my boundaries and sticking to them. Because when I'm grounded, I'm more patient. When I set my boundaries, I'm more at peace. I'm more happy. So I'm not snapping on my children. I'm not short with people, and I'm not overwhelmed, and I'm not reacting to life stresses. I'm literally just putting these things in place so that I could protect me from other people. And that matters because the people closest to you sometimes feel, especially like when you've been giving so much of yourself for so long, the people closest to you, when you start setting your boundaries, some of the people that don't understand what that means feel attacked. It feels like it's an attack to them because they're not used to this new barrier that you have put in place to protect yourself. And I love that I'm working on that for myself. I really do. And I had to learn that with that, I had to give myself grace, you know? I had to give myself grace because I may not have it all together. But I am growing, even though sometimes I slide back on my boundaries. I do slide back on my boundaries, but I have to give myself grace and get back on it because this is set. Like I said, it's set for me. And even though people may feel some type of way, or I can apologize, well, not necessarily apologize, but I can reiterate my boundaries because those things like feel so personal to me because for so long I've been surrounded by people for so long, and that I just felt unseen and unheard for so long, and putting those boundaries in place pretty much set the tone for better and for the change. And I am right now in the season of my life as well. I am choosing peace. I'm choosing more me time without feeling guilty. Whew. And when I say more me time, choosing myself does not mean that I love my kids any less or that I am less of a mother. And I think in motherhood, that's not stressed enough because we just have to be givers we have to be givers, and it just means that I'm becoming a healthier person for me, because when I'm healthy and I'm happy, my kids can enjoy that and have a more grounded mother, and I'm choosing less chaos and less drama and less negative energy. And honestly, I'm choosing less access to myself. Like, I'm not giving people more access to me than they need to. And because a lot of people had too much access to me, and now it's like, access denied unless I open the door and give you that access. And like, I can still love deeply and I can still care about my close family and friends without physically be there or without my presence being there. Like, I still love you. I'm just a little distant because I'm focusing on myself. And there are things that is not finished yet for me in my life, that are unfinished and that are not in a place where it's all good, right? And I think this is where we're in the process of becoming. There's the middle and gray area, because like my separation and co-parenting, I'm moving with it with intentionality, and I'm not rushing that process. I'm literally taking it day by day and enjoying the journey and being present in those situations. And I think like that makes me and that makes him better for our children. Sometimes you have to take your time to get it right, because when you rush, you make hasty decisions, and it doesn't have to be like that, because then you sometimes regret the decisions that you made. I'm not saying that I'm doing everything perfectly, but it's just that I'm just letting God handle a lot of things and just trusting God's process by taking it a day at a time. I'm also learning to rest without guilt, because rest was something that was never modeled for me. So it's something that I really like feel guilty about when I do take it. And I'm getting better with it. And I just, did not grow up saying that. So I'm learning to rest without guilt. And I'm also learning to trust myself again, because for a long time, I felt, like I said, unheard and unseen, even though, not because I did not speak up for myself or I did not say what I wanted or what I meant, but because like I just felt dismissed, like people were overlooking the things that I was saying. So now I'm relearning to trust my gut and take up space in rooms and in spaces in my own life, and stop minimizing myself for the comfort of others, if that makes sense. It's really important for me to talk about this and document this process of becoming her, and that people see it, because a lot of times we look at somebody's life and we see the outcome of where they started from and not the process, and you think that, oh my goodness, they had it all together, they're figuring it out. Like, I've had people tell me, oh my goodness, you're killing it, you're doing this thing, and it's just like, thank you, but I don't have it all together, and I feel a mess half of the time, okay? And in reality, it's just like, you could think somebody have it all figured out, and it really on the inside, on the internal side, they're breaking on the inside. And it just appears outwardly that they have it together, because guess what? We're all figuring this thing called life out together, and we're all literally raw. Like, we're literally raw dogging life. Like, we are just living it a day, taking things a day at a time. And because there's no rule book or rubric to doing life. And we just have to just do and execute. Some of us get it right, and some of us still getting it, and some of us don't. And some of us is still trying to clean up the mess that we've created in our lives. So we're just, I would say, give yourself some grace, and we're here to talk about the process, to talk about the journey, and just continue to protect yourself. And I know that for a long time, like, I felt alone, even though I was surrounded by people that love me. I was surrounded by people that love me. I was surrounded by my children. I was surrounded by so many things that I just felt, even then, I just felt so alone, because I just felt like nobody understood me. Nobody understood what I was carrying and what I was going through. Or that simply, too, like, nobody cares. Like, who cares, right? And I don't want any of you that is watching this to feel like you're alone, because we're here. I'm here. We're here. We can talk and we can have this conversation. And because life is hard as it is. And I want to say this. I remember my therapist asked me a question a few years ago and said, baby, are you living life, or are you letting life live you? Because a lot of us, we're going with the process. We're rolling with the punches, I should say. We're rolling with the punches, and we're just literally just letting life do us dirty. Doing us, like, life is literally dogging us out. And it's just like, no, you have to capture that and make a decision and start shifting and turn things around. Because you have to start being intentional about the things that you want and how you want to set the tone for yourself. And you have to literally make that decision and start surrounding yourself with people that wants better for themselves. And if you don't have that, like I said, God said, write the vision, make it plain. Don't stay so much on fantasizing and dreaming about the life that you want, and literally start to execute. Because we could stay in the dreaming and fantasizing mode for a long time. He said, write the vision, make it plain. And then you have to execute. You have to start from somewhere, and slow progress is still progress. So if you feel like, you have a friend that you feel like is carrying too much, and share this with them so that they can know that they're not alone, and that, and then also it's just like, at some point in life, you have to stop, like I said, stop dreaming, and you have to focus on you, what you want, and how you're going to turn it around. And small progress is progress. And even though sometimes you may not feel like you're making the progress, you're never going to see it in tiny bits or bite sizes. You have to, like, keep going, and it's just going to get better. And just know that, stay consistent and stay disciplined. This is not just for you. This is also for me. Because a lot of the times we can be consistent, and like I said, we fall off the wagon, but just get back on. Because life will continue to throw curveballs at you every single day. There's always something happening, whether it's on the political side, the government, with your personal life, if you have children, with your children. There's always something. Just know that you got to be ready to pivot. You have to be ready to make a change and not let it break you down. Put God in it. Stick with God. Invite him in the process and all of it. And little by little, you'll start seeing that you're no longer where you used to be. You're further along. And then you're just going to continue to grow. So, after you watch this, as you're watching this, if you don't live with nothing else, I implore you to choose you, choose better, take time, take small steps to get to reach to where you want to be, because it's time to stop blaming others for where you are in life, and it's time to stop, being a victim to life's story and just take control of your life. And it's time for you to choose yourself. So remember that becoming her is literally about choosing you over and over and over again. So if you stop choosing you, you still have the opportunity every single day that you're still alive and breathing to choose you, to do the work, to get better, and to make the change that you need for yourself and be the better person. And so if this feels like a safe space for you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because you know what? Welcome home, sis. This is a safe space.